Have you ever wondered how a case that's literally been sitting in a dusty cardboard box for decades just suddenly gets solved? Well, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're cracking the cipher of cold case behavioral patterns. Based on our source material, we're going to demystify exactly how investigators breathe new life into stalled investigations. We're diving deep into the incredibly precise world of behavioral and linguistic profiling and showing you how detectives learn to read the invisible clues left behind at a crime scene. So, can a killer truly erase every fingerprint? It's a pretty chilling thought, right? If you look into the mindset of the most notorious perpetrators, specifically serial killers, you'll quickly realize they operate with this just staggering level of arrogance. I mean, they wipe down doorknobs, they bleach floors, they dispose of physical evidence with absolute meticulous care. They honestly operate under this arrogant belief that they're ghosts, just moving through the world leaving absolutely zero trace of their existence. They think they've completely outsmarted the system just because they didn't leave a literal smudge of their thumb on a glass. But as we're about to see, physical evidence, that's really just one piece of a much, much larger puzzle. Because while a suspect might successfully wipe away the physical evidence, our sources show that they inevitably leave behind what we call invisible fingerprints. These are behavioral and psychological markers, and you absolutely cannot wipe these away with a bottle of bleach. For example, their choice of locations. That reveals their comfort zones. How they specifically interact with a scene. That betrays their deep-seated psychological needs. And maybe most surprisingly, their language. The literal words they choose to use leaves a distinct, undeniable trail. You see, you can scrub a crime scene from top to bottom, but you cannot scrub the foundational wiring of your own mind. Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1. When trails go cold, the roadblock phase. Let's take two notorious cases, the freeway phantom and the doodler. Both left a wake of tragedy. Both generated massive police responses. Yet, both investigations stalled out. Why? No physical DNA, no clear eyewitnesses, random victimology. The leads dry up. Suspects vanish. The files get boxed up. The physical trail goes completely, utterly cold. It's this frustrating, agonizing pattern of dead ends that absolutely plagues traditional investigative methods when a killer is careful enough to not leave biological material behind. The clock ticks, the public panics, and the investigation just completely freezes. And that brings us to Section 2, the science of profiling, the breakthrough phase. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how, when the physical evidence is completely exhausted, investigators have to turn away from the microscope and turn toward the mind. Because one tiny, seemingly insignificant detail can completely shatter a killer's illusion of being a ghost. In the freeway phantom case, the killer actually left a note. And in that note, they used the word tantamount. Tantamount. I mean, it's a highly specific, really rare vocabulary choice, right? The killer thought they were just haunting the place, but instead, they were handing over a literal key to their own psychological makeup. They made a massive linguistic slip. That single word became an absolutely crucial psychological indicator for the detectives. It told them about the suspect's potential education level, their reading habits, and their clear desire to appear intellectually superior. So that slip-up brings us directly to linguistic profiling. This is the analysis of a person's language, vocabulary, and grammar to deduce their psychological indicators and behavioral traits. And honestly, it is absolutely fascinating. Our sources explain that the way we structure our sentences, the specific lexicon we draw from, even our grammatical errors, they are as unique to us as our actual physical fingerprints. The killer's behavior and language ultimately betray them. They try so hard to hide behind a mask, but their words just paint this incredibly detailed portrait of exactly who they are and exactly how they think. Moving on to Section 3, debunking the 24-hour rule, reality versus fiction. Now, I want to just pause the historical storytelling for a quick second and speak directly to you, because this is exactly why this information matters for you in the real world. Hollywood procedurals, they tell us you must wait 24 hours to report someone missing, but forensic reality dictates that you report missing persons immediately. That 24-hour rule is a complete myth. It's a dangerous, entirely fabricated trope created for television drama, and our source text actively, heavily debunks it. Listen, if someone is genuinely missing and acting totally out of character, those first few hours are literally the most critical window for law enforcement to gather the exact types of behavioral and physical clues we've been discussing today. Waiting 24 hours just gives the trail time to go cold. So never wait. Actually, let me repeat that for sure. Never wait. Always rely on forensic reality, not Hollywood fiction. So we've seen how a single word like tantamount can blow a cold case wide open, right? We've seen how behavioral markers are completely immune to bleach and scrub brushes. Which brings us to a final kind of chilling thought for us to consider.
If highly trained detectives can track a master criminal simply by analyzing their vocabulary, their grammar, and their sentence structure, what are your linguistic fingerprints revealing about you? Think about it. Every text you send, every email you write, every single word you speak is a data point of your own psychological profile. It's a pretty fascinating thought to leave you with. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep asking questions, and I will see you next time.